The crew and I are here in Christchurch preparing the boat to be shipped.
It's the first time I saw this today.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's the first time I've been down. Like, we've been training so much. James has done a great job on it.
Yeah, no, it looks awesome.
What were you expecting?
James, nice job. I didn't expect it to be that big.
I spent some time familiarising them with the boat, and we looked at the various antennas for the sat phone, for GPS, for the automatic identification system, the VHF sat phone system in both cabins, so that the guys don't have to move all the way to the back. We even have a radio that we can talk from one cabin to the other, which may seem unnecessary, but if you're in a storm and everything's battened down, then you need to be able to talk to the guys at the other cabin. So the reason we've got a huge dome on the top of the aft cabin, we'll have fleet broadband, so we'll have the opportunity to send emails over a broadband system, satellite system. It was only yesterday that we went to Western-super-Mare and had a lesson on how to use the water maker. Because we saw it all yesterday, it was automatically familiar with them, which was great. Yeah, there's a whole heap of electronics and gadgets. Just a quick overview for them to give them some understanding before we head down to Gomera.
The idea behind the automatic inflate is if you fall overboard, the jacket will automatically inflate itself. And there's a little valve at the bottom of the jacket there that if it gets wet, it automatically sets the jacket off, which we don't want because we're going to get pretty damp on board. So we're converting it just to manual. Thereby, if we fall overboard, we have to initiate it, but it saves us having random dud inflations on board.
We've just come back off our safety training down in Teignmouth.
You have to, it's compulsory to do a Yachtmaster Ocean Theory.
We know that there's support in terms of as a support vessel. It's going to be sailing with the boats itself. So as a physiotherapist within the Army, I have experience of working with amputees and working at Headley Court with soldiers who've been through the traumas that the guys have been through on the boat. We've got an extensive medical kit list which we've got from the organisers as well, which we'll take with us.
It means that no one's sharing the same mattress, and you do all of the sort of the rank stuff on your own map.
Yeah, I did say happy with that, yeah.
The general discomforts would be, I guess, the seasickness, which is one thing I'm looking forward to experiencing. We've got the salt boils and the salt rashes from the water, making sure you're keeping yourself clean as you can in between shifts. Freeze-dried rations will be the staple diet.
I tried out one of the shepherd's pie dehydrated rations earlier. It was actually pretty good. I think we could live on them, definitely.
And we're going to be having a variety of other sort of energy bars, energy drinks to try and keep us going as well as vitamins, etc., minerals to keep us going.
We've provisioned for 70 days, so 20% of that, 14 days, is wet rations as a reserve if we run out of water.
We're packing it into the boat at the moment, and when we get to Gomera, we're going to individually package it up into breakfast, lunch, dinner sections so that we can have a very, very clear system each day.
It's pretty crazy. For the first time you're thinking you're going to be doing this for a few months at sea. And rowing at like 3 o'clock in the morning for 2 hours, just to get rowing at night and being a bit disorientated and that. I'll just get straight out of bed, get my crutches, go downstairs, get the garage and start getting out on the rower.
Generally every day do sort of 2 to 4 hours between the handbike and the rower, just to mix it up a bit and keep it interesting.
There will always be one able-bodied working with or rowing with one amputee.
I think it's going to be awkward shuffling around for Scott and I initially. We can't stand up, so there's always going to be a body in the way at all times.
It's going to be challenging for us because I think much as they'll do as much as they can, there'll be certain things they can't do. That means that we will have to do a lot of the work that goes on in the aft cabin, so the navigation, the cooking.
My seat, unfortunately, is a separate device, if you like. So it gets bolted to the side of the boat while I'm not using it, and Scott will use the sliding seat. So the changeovers are going to be awkward initially until we get into some form of routine and we work out how best to fit the thing. So I think initially being on such a small boat, having to do these kind of extra chores, which the other crews won't need to do, I think is going to be a challenge when you're tired and you just want to get to bed and you're wet and cold and all the rest of it. Having to keep the hatches closed all the time for the capsize risk, so no fresh air, so it's going to be baking hot when you're in the cabin. When you're out rowing, you're going to get soaking wet from the waves, and I think it's going to be uncomfortable.
It's not somewhere to take for granted. There's the obvious chances of tropical revolving storms. squalls and generic low weather systems that can track across where we'll be, and these can pose a pretty large threat to us. We're only on a 29-foot piece of glass fibre. It's not very big when you've got 5 kilometres of depth of water beneath you and 3,000 miles of width of water from land to land. If something does go wrong, we can communicate immediately with the organisers and with the safety boat, and they should come to assist us.
Getting from point A to point B, accurately has always, interested me. The shortest distance that we can travel across the ocean, the quicker we're going to get there.
We all bring something to the party from different backgrounds that we have, whether it's obviously from the medical side, myself, versus James with his ocean-going experience. Scott is the muscle, as he calls himself, and Cale was the ace star on our navigation course. So we're all very different, but in the same way trying to achieve the same thing. So I think when we pull together, we'll do very well.
Nights, stars, big seas, it's all exciting. It's uncomfortable, it's scary, it's out of the norm. It's not something that you would do every day. I'm looking forward to that kind of exposure, that, it's just you and a bunch of blokes in a boat out at sea. I think the whole trip is pretty cool, actually. It's a lot to look forward to.
It's one of these things that you could get hit by a bus crossing the road tomorrow, so you might as well do something fun.
Getting across the other side is obviously going to be the big high point. If we can do it unsupported, that would be fantastic. If we receive no support at all, that'd be great.
I'm raring to go, and I'm really buzzing about it, so I really can't wait to get it done.